we've arrived at Tyndrum, and it is absolutely lovely. What a change from Edinburgh. Let's be. We're all here. Well, we're not all here, we're waiting for Dennis. But he will come.
I hope not.
Ooh.
Is that a GoPro or an Osmo?
And they're here at Kilcoen, and we're all waiting to go to Tobermory on our big adventure around Mull.
Where did Steve Hiring go? Right, I think I'll just head away.
What a lovely ice cream wagon, and a gorgeous view.
Can you get a wee shot of it?
Yes, yeah.
Go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1930s. I think his first name was Geoffrey. Geoffrey Mitford. He made his money in Canada, mining in Canada, and he came back to this country and he built a house. And that is his house, Art Deco house across there. So he had four daughters, the famous Mitford sisters. And they were very independent ladies. The first one, no, it wasn't. I'm not sure which one was which, to be honest. But one married Oswald Mosley, the fascist leader in Britain at the time. Okay. One married the Duke of Devonshire, and she died about 10 odd years ago. One didn't really, she wasn't so prominent. But the third one was Unity Mitford. Huh? And Unity Mitford was fascinated by fascism as well. So she went to Germany in the early 30s, and somehow she moved up through the hierarchy in Germany, and you often saw her in pictures with Hitler at his in Bavaria, the Wolf's Lair in Bavaria. So, and in the meantime, the newspapers absolutely criticised her because she was. So that the Daily Express and Beaver Brook's Daily Express and all the rest of newspapers that were supporting, obviously, the British government and Churchill, absolutely destroyed her reputation as so and so. Now, two things happened. Choose which one, which is the truth here. They said that she was so upset that Britain and Germany, her favourite countries, were fighting one another that she put a bullet through her brain. But she didn't die. The story was that Hitler arranged for his private aircraft to take her to Switzerland, to some sort of sanatorium, to try and get the bullet removed or try and get her fixed, basically. But they didn't want her back in Germany, and they didn't really want her down in the higher echelons of public life in the London area. So this is one story. She came back to Britain, and they wanted her out of the way, so they punted her up here into that house there. So there's stories of her getting boated across. It's a single boatman bringing her across the wee estuary there, and she would go to the dances in Tobermory, and because she was still early 30s at the time. This is the official version, by the way. But something happened in 1948 with a so-called bullet that was left in her brain. She was taken to the hospital in Inverness, and she died of her it might have been septicemia, I don't know, but she died in Inverness. That's one version. But there's another version, and this is the mystery I mentioned earlier. So she went to this, Hitler's got her aircraft and took her to this place in Switzerland and so on and so forth. And she came back to Britain because nobody wanted her. They didn't want her back in Germany, and they didn't want her back in the London area either. But, and there's a YouTube video of this nurse. There was a nurse and doctor examined her after she'd been back in before she was 20 years. The nurse, certainly the nurse that was interviewed, they checked her out after she came back, and there was no signs of a bullet wound in her head. Oh. So the nurse said, "Hope you're no filming this."
Well, here we are at the ferry terminal, and I missed our ferry by 10 minutes, so we've got an hour and 3/4 to wait.
Open from 7 to 2:30.
Now, here we go, Tobermory. Yay! Hello. Say hello, Irene.
Hello. There it says breakfast, lunch, dinner, Friday and Saturday. Oh well, wait a minute.
Finding somewhere open.
Dinner Friday and Saturday.
The water is really clear. Brilliant. Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Ah, dear, dear. All we want is coffee and ice cream. Or not in that necessary order. You can see the ferry terminal now. I think it's time to suit up and get ready to disembark.